As we told you at the top of the show, a room of Nebraska ag leaders had a chance to hear from EPA Administrator Scott Pruitt on Thursday in Lincoln. NTV's Valerie Juarez caught up with the president of the Nebraska Corn Growers Association.
So Dan, talk to us a little bit about, you were one of the few people that was able to, be out here and ask questions to the EPA Administrator. What were your thoughts on today's
It was real nice that he could give us a chance to speak to him today, come out and listen to our thoughts and hear about what's important to us. On the waters of the U.S., it sounded very encouraging. It isn't finalized yet, so kind of being cautiously optimistic on that. Quite a bit disappointed on the E15, and we thought maybe that process would be a little bit more timely. President Trump has supported it, says he's in favor of it. In his campaign, and in April he talked to the governor and our congressional delegation and said he was in support of it again. There wasn't any mention of any packages or trade-offs. Disappointed in that. So the administrator has the power to approve it. He says there is a process to go through. We need to get that moving, get that process happening. If it isn't it's too late for this summer, we want to get it next summer. So we need to get moving on that, and then I'll be more optimistic about it.
Now, what were some of your thoughts when kind of going on that same topic when he said that when we're talking about the exemptions to these oil refineries that he was saying that they're going by the rules? What are your thoughts on that?
I'm not quite sure. Everybody interprets the rules maybe a little bit differently. I just didn't have a lot of confidence in it. He knows it probably better than I do, but it seems like there's a little bit of variation in what the process is.
And lastly, one thing I did want to ask you is, right now with all the controversy and scandal that's regarding EPA Administrator Scott Pruitt, do you think you'll be working with him much longer?
I'm not sure. Don't really have a comment on that. Just see how it goes.
Anything else that you'd like to add about today's meeting, with our Nebraska viewers?
Just it was real good to see him come out here, and even whether we liked what he said or not, our voice is heard. Nebraska farmers are very important to the state of Nebraska and the economy, and we need to do what we can to make our economy and our state good.
And I do have to ask, were you at the last meeting when he came back in October?
I was not.
Well, that's about it. Thank you so much.
Yep, thanks for having me.
Challenging times on the farm have some growers looking for new opportunities. One crop with growing interest is field peas. Let's send it over to Steve White with more.
Good for the soil and a farmer's bottom line.
Nebraska Extension is hosting field day events in Grant, North Platte, and Bladen. They'll be looking at wheat varieties, but also field peas. Peas can be used as a rotational crop along with corn and beans, or in place of fallow, to have something in the ground instead of letting weeds get out of control.
It's a no-brainer in western Nebraska where we have fallow, where we have seen some of those chemicals not working on kochia, and kochia being resistant to dicamba and glyphosate, and a lot of people start disking. And so there's a number of farmers that just don't like to do fallow anymore. That's the logical place for them to put peas in.
Extension educators say they used to have 3 seed companies with 15 to 20 varieties of peas. Now they've got 6 breeders with 3 dozen different varieties. Farmers can learn more at events on June 18th, 19th, and 20th.
Organizers say it's one of the most diverse field days around, and they hope folks attend one of the 3 locations. Steve White, NTV News.
One issue we've seen this growing season is volunteer corn. Extension educators say volunteer corn competes with corn and soybeans, and if not controlled, can hurt yield and contribute to gray leaf spot and western root cutworm. We asked if it's been a problem in your area, and the results are on your screen. And now on to our new poll question. We want to know if you have seen any herbicide-resistant weeds like palmer. Follow Grow on Twitter to cast your vote, and we will have much more on this topic later this month. Next on NTV's Grow, Kent Boughton has a look at the Grow weather forecast, and we will meet Miss Rodeo Nebraska and Miss Teen Rodeo Nebraska. Stay with us.